Yesterday, though, was like, without a shadow of a doubt, probably the most stressful day on an aircraft I've had in like 15 years. We were on the way back from Doha when it all kicked off. It was just a little quick turnaround flight, Dubai, Doha and back. 30-minute flight there, 30-minute flight back. And on approach into Doha, all the departures from Doha were getting immediately stacked up because all the European departures, they depart Doha and go immediately north through Iran and then west through Europe. So we heard that the airspace had been closed. Now, we weren't going near Iranian airspace. We got to the ground, started reading the reports. So I was just like, fuck it, I need to fucking dump on an extra bit of fuel. There's going to be madness in Dubai. Thank fuck for that. I put on an extra 2.5 tons, which is like 2 hours. But all the phones were jammed in Dubai because when you add extra fuel, you're heavier. So you're supposed to get new flight plans from network control, but no one was answering the phone. So it was like, fucking hell, what to do? Do we wait for these new flight plans, or do you just fucking go as it is, which you're not supposed to? And I was just like, you know what, fuck this, I'll explain later, let's get out of here. So depart Doha, 10 minutes after departure from Qatar Air Traffic Control, all aircraft on frequency land immediately. All aircraft have to be on the ground within 10 minutes. And we're just like, oh, fuck. So we were about 30 miles from the border with UAE. So we just like maximum speed, boom, straight ahead. Got into UAE airspace. We're just like, oh, that's not bad. Then they directed us towards a holding pattern. So they stacked us up there. They said the delay is undetermined. And anyway, so we've like 2.5 hours of fuel. We're like, okay, fine. So we're like in a hold for about 20 minutes, and then all aircraft on frequency, UAE airspace is now closed. No UAE airports are available for landing. Oh, we're just like, fuck. They said Kuwait is closed, Bahrain is closed, Doha is now closed. Muscat is still taking diversions. So we said, right, fuck it, let's get to Doha, let's divert to Muscat. But you had to circumnavigate UAE airspace to get there. So it was like an extra fucking 300 miles, so like an extra 40 minutes flight time. Anyway, we start diversion to Muscat. All aircraft on frequency, Muscat is no longer taking diversions because all the westbound traffic from the east coming into the Middle East, obviously with all the Middle Eastern airports closed, all the Gulf airports closed, they all went into Muscat. So Muscat stopped taking diversions. So now we're like, fuck, like, what are we going to do? They said the only airports available are Eastern Saudi Arabia, like Dammam, Riyadh. But you have to, again, go around UAE airspace. So that is like an hour and a half of what should be like a 35-minute flight. So we did the fuel calculations and we're like, holy fuck, we can do it, but we're going to get to Riyadh with literally 35 minutes, 40 maximum fuel, which is literally as tight as you can be. So that's stressful as fuck because we're thinking like all the other aircraft diverting into Riyadh as well, there's going to be approach congestion, they're going to be all stacked up. Like, anyway, so when this happened, about 5 or 6 different aircraft on the frequency start declaring fuel emergencies because they were just like, we literally don't have the fuel to fly to Riyadh. We've been stacked up here coming from, I don't know, Hong Kong, Hanoi, all the Asian airports for the last hour, the last 40 minutes waiting to land. We do not have fuel to go to Eastern Saudi. So they all declared Mayday, Mayday, Mayday. And we're all listening to this. We're like, holy fuck. Despite 5 aircraft declaring a Mayday, they still weren't allowed to land. It was a fucking shit show on the radio. Like, that is unheard of. Like, when you declare Mayday, you can do whatever the fuck you want. But this was like the attacks were taking place as this was happened. So there was a UPS aircraft on frequency. They were just like, we need to land immediately. We've declared emergency. Air traffic control. We're saying, look, I don't know what to tell you. Like, Ministry of Defence directives, we're not allowed to take any aircraft. And he was just like, so what are my options? What can I do? And they were just like, I'm really sorry, I don't have answers for you. And then eventually a supervisor came on the frequency, an air traffic control supervisor, and he was just like, we've been instructed not to allow any aircraft to land. However, if you go against like our instructions, like nothing's going to, I mean, as in like, basically we're not going to shoot, you're not going to be shot down, like, but it was fucking manic. So we were just like, holy fuck. And then, we start heading off to Riyadh. And then about 20 minutes on the way to Riyadh, because we're flying by Emirates, government companies, we were like, okay, they were like, all stations, certain aircraft, certain flight numbers have been given permission to land. It was us, a couple of Emirates and another guy. And then literally, Dubai is like a fucking maze of airways and arrival procedures and everything. Like they literally, when we got this, they just literally said like direct runway now, land. Like just direct the runway. And then we landed, and all airport closed. They suspended all operations, Fly Dubai, Emirates. And I went home and got my hair done, had a blow dry, and went fucking horse racing. And got fucking drunk. It was insane. The rockets flying over like Maidan in the night sky, and everyone's just there watching the racing. But it got very tense at one point because a missile hit a hotel on the Palm, and it hit the airport. And then everyone started getting these alerts on their phone, like government alerts, stay inside. So it got very tense all of a sudden, and a lot of people started leaving. And then there was a load of rocket strikes later on, just after the last race, and everyone was rushed downstairs underneath. So everyone was kind of like, oh, it was fucking mad shit, like.